Now we have the last story of the day before we wrap things up. This just came in today. I like literally as I was playing today's stream. The GOP is planning on releasing a 1,000 page document about probing the FBI for for politicizing the, I believe it's the FBI. But yeah, the FBI as well as the DOJ. Now, this is cool because you've seen a lot of rhetoric from the right, right? Seen a lot of rhetoric from the right saying, hey, the FBI is corrupt, the DOJ is targeting Republicans, but it's not very often that you see concrete, hard evidence of that. This seems like it's going to be the first step in that direction. So it'll be really nice to see what comes of this. Now, allegations are one thing. Proof is another thing, and then convictions and, actual changes in the system are entirely different. So while I personally am somewhat inclined to think there might be something shady going on with the FBI, I would like to see this proven. So I'm looking forward to seeing these allegations, as well as seeing, how founded they seem to be, kind of objectively. This is going to be something very, very interesting to follow. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know when the last time, something like this has ever happened. If anything like this has ever happened before. Now, I've also heard rumors. Some people on the left have been complaining and saying that, the Republicans are going to take over the House and the Senate, and then they're going to do some crazy investigations against the Democrats. It'd be interesting to see if that's true. If they do, I hope they do it in a legitimate way. Just because I'm a Republican doesn't mean that I'm going to endorse every single action that the GOP takes. They have to follow the rule of law. Just because the Democrats have not always done so, in my opinion, does not give us the license to go in and be similarly heavy-handed and unfair against the Democratic Party and target them politically. So I hope that whatever they do, of course, you're not going to be able to completely remove political motivations, but I do hope that they kind of also make sure that they base all of their findings in facts rather than making things up and falsifying evidence, which we have seen happen before. I'm just gonna put that out there. But yeah, hopefully everything that they do is above board. We'll see. It's an establishment political party, so I doubt that everything the GOP is going to do is going to be above board. But I have even less faith that they're actually going to act on this. So I think if they do something, it'll be a win in my book. But we'll see. I think everything's going to come out on Friday. Let's see here. Now it says here, between the lines, Jim Jordan, who will likely become chairman of the powerful House Judiciary Committee next year should Republicans control the chamber, is the leading member behind the report, which relies heavily on reports from FBI whistleblowers. Interesting. So he says Jordan has made clear that he will use the committee to make the next 2 years of Biden's presidency as painful as possible for Democrats, with his document serving as a roadmap for how he'll navigate one of his key priorities. The report's table of contents, which includes references to Hunter Biden, school boards, pro-life facilities, and churches, and Facebook, underscores the highly political nature of the investigation. Interesting. Now, to be fair, Axios is a far-left publication, so they are going to have some bias and possibly some snark in here too. Kind of setting the groundwork, saying that it's a highly political investigation. To be fair, you're going to be covering these topics when you're talking about alleged corruption within the FBI targeting the Republicans on political grounds. Because if you're talking about political targeting, it's going to be, you're going to be covering some political topics. It's just, common sense that one could expect that to occur. Now, it looks like there are some bullet points here. So that's rather nice. It'll be interesting to see how much progress they make in proving these claims. Anyone can make these claims. They better be able to prove them. Number one, artificially inflating statistics about the domestic violent extremism. 2, abusing his counterterrorism authorities to investigate parents who spoke at school board meetings by creating a special threat tag to track school board related cases. That's interesting. What? I did not hear about that. That's crazy. Abusing his foreign intelligence authorities to spy on American citizens, including people associated with the campaign of Donald Trump in 2016. Interesting. That's also interesting considering the fact that nobody is talking about the fact that, okay, so you know how the DOJ has this portal where basically they were telling Facebook and Twitter who to censor? Well, Donald Trump signed off on CISA, C-I-S-A, which is the sort of like the department with like I think it's the department of the DOJ or something, or the FBI, that what was I gonna say? Yeah, they were what got turned into the disinformation board. When backlash came out about that, they just moved it back to CISA. So this is actually Trump's group when it comes to FBI censorship. Make no mistake, Donald Trump signed off on this. This originates with him. You can't really say, blame the left on it completely because Trump did sign off on that. Then number 4, clearing the Bureau of Employees who dissent from its woke leftist agenda. That's interesting. And number 5, politicizing political cases over criminal ones and drawing resources away from real law enforcement duties. It says here, what they're saying, this report is a roadmap of where Jordan will go. That is fascinating. They need to, they just better make sure they can prove everything in court, man, because it's better just to not make any claims at all than to make claims and not be able to prove them, right? Nobody really respects Rudy Giuliani right now, even the right. You know why? Because he came out here with a bunch of claims about election fraud, didn't even do so much as like give a tiny smidgen of evidence. And this is, there's some folks like, when it comes to like election fraud and stuff, Mike Lindell came up with some, while they were disputed, their veracity was disputed, he did come up with some forms of evidence. Rudy Giuliani said, oh, there's fraud, and then had no evidence. We can't keep on, making all of these claims and statements without proving our claims. So hopefully this is a step in that direction. Jim Jordan has 2 years, because he wants to do this before the next presidential election. So we'll see how that goes. I wish him luck in proving everything if it's actually true. We'll see how this goes. But this is very, very fascinating, and it'll be really interesting to see kind of how this shapes the next 2, 3, 4 years politically.